Hey everybody, Brandon back with some more painted plastic. Welcome to episode 5 of our Master Grade Zaku build. In this episode, we're gonna do some of the weapons. You remember we built the giant bazooka and the rifle and yeah, all the weapons. We're also gonna do some of the accessories that go with or what I call accessories, the backpack, things like that. But before we get into all of that, I want to show you uh, what I plan to do for the little hoses, right? These are they go around the waist, and there's a couple on the head and legs. But I've got a plan for these, and it uses a product that I love, C-1 Metalizer, right? It's a buffing powder that will make things look just like metal. Better than any paint that I found. Just really, really convincing effect for making things look like metal. So we're going to start there and get all these little hoses. There's 6 of them total. We're going to get them all metallized and looking shiny, and then we'll move on to the painting the weapons and all that stuff. So let me get everything set up here at the workbench, and we will jump right into these hoses. Be right back. All right, everybody, here we go. Gonna metalize some plastic. This stuff is fantastic. You see I've got my gloves on, and I apologize right off the bat for the paper towel. I'm sure it's washing everything out, but this stuff is messy. It will get everywhere. Protect your work surface, protect your hands. It is really, really messy. So, what you get in the box is this is the tub of metalizer. You see it's gotten all over the tub, but look at that. I mean, even the tub itself looks like a mirror, right? This thing was white, right? Originally. So you get your tub, and you get a little applicator brush, right? And this is just a little makeup brush, so any kind of makeup sponge will work. You also get a mask, which I don't think that would help at this point, but I do recommend wearing a mask when you're using this stuff. Like I said, it's a really, really fine particle. I typically wear my mask when I'm doing it, but I can't talk to you guys and yeah. So the only other thing I have here is some little makeup pads, and we'll get into that in just a second. But when you open up the can, you'll see you get this really, really fine powder, right? It's just I don't know exactly what it is. I have a feeling it's similar to like a graphite powder, but that's just a guess. I don't know. And all you do, the stuff is crazy simple to use. You get a little bit on your sponge, and then you literally just wipe it on the part, and you can see already that it's turning it very, very metallic, right? That's why I think this is some sort of graphite powder, because it kind of reminds me of like ground up pencil lead. I don't know. It's probably not. It's probably some fancy chemical thing that somebody came up with. I don't know. But yeah, you rub it all over everywhere that you want it to be metal. Get it good and coated. Like I said, be generous. The better coat you get, the better finish you end up with. So, but that's I hope that's coming out. This paper towel is just washing out everything. But hopefully you can see that that's pretty metallic at this point. So once you've got it on, then you take your makeup sponge, just one, thank you. You take your makeup sponge, and then you just buff it, right? You don't have to be gentle. You are not going to rub this stuff off. All you're doing is just, knocking off the excess, basically. Smoothing it out. Smoothing it out. That doesn't sound right. Does that sound right? Is that the right word? Smoothing it out? I don't know. Basically just knocking off the excess. Whoops. And taking the part apart. Part apart? Boy, I'm just all with the words today. Now one thing that I don't think I mentioned, and it's really, really important. This stuff, you can put it over anything, right? You can put it over any color or paint or whatever. But to get something that looks like that, right, that really looks metallic and metally, it really needs to go over like a gloss black, right? This is gloss black primer. All these parts were sprayed with gloss black primer. And that's really the best thing to have under this stuff. Now, I don't know if that's going to come out on camera, but the difference in those parts, like this one actually looks like a metal tube. As you can see, we've done one part and it's everywhere, right? So that's why the paper towel is here. So, but yeah, let's do one more. I've got a few things here that I want to metalize. These are the thruster bells for the backpack, and I thought they would look cool, kind of metalized. So we'll do one of those real fast. It doesn't take any time to do this stuff. Now the one downside to this product, you can't really clear over top of it. I haven't found a clear coat that doesn't dull the shine. If anybody knows of a good clear to go over metal powder, let me know, because I'd love to find one. Every one I use, it seems to dull it down and kind of make it look like kind of an aluminum paint or something. And I don't know, it just doesn't look the same after you clear it. But whoops, uh-oh, don't drop your part, Joe. But yeah, that's kind of the only downside. Now, you kind of don't need to clear it because this stuff is durable as it can be. I mean, save like scraping it with a fork or something, Look at that though. Original and metallized. Just phenomenal, right? Just amazing. I love this stuff. It's a great product. So, I'm going to go off and do this to several parts, actually. I've got a whole tree of hoses and thrusters and, yeah, tons of parts. But I'm going to get all these done, and once these are finished, we'll crack on with the weapons and get those all painted up. So, yep, be right back. Alright everybody, back over here at the bench. I got one more part I want to get painted up, and that is this shoulder pauldron. You know, I said I wanted to do a little something different. I want to put some red on it, but I think I want to put some texture on it as well. I thought about just painting the whole thing, you know, making it completely red, but I think that might be a little boring. So we're gonna have some fun. I've got a paper towel just kind of off to the side here, and yeah, I'm gonna get some red, and I've got a stippling brush. This is a really stiff bristle brush, right? It's really old, but nice stiff bristles. And I'm gonna go in for some paint, right? And then I'm just gonna kind of dab off a lot of it, right? And on the part, I just want to go around and kind of blob some paint on. Now I'm not too worried about the caps. I'll go back and repaint those and touch them up once this is done, but I'm just going to do this all over, right? Get one coat, and it's going to be splotchy and patchy and not covered at all, and that's exactly what I'm looking for, because I will do this probably 2 or 3 times to get the desired effect. All right, there's the first coat. Not completely dry, but that's okay. We're gonna go back in, get the second coat started. For this one, I grabbed some orange, just X6, right? And now this is a gloss color, so the red is flat, the orange is gloss, but that's all right. It should look kind of satiny when it's all said and done. So get a little teeny bit of this, and I've got a little palette over here. I'm just going to put a little blob out here. I don't need much orange. It's really just to kind of tint the red. Little fact about colors: if you want a lighter shade, then use a lighter color. If you use white, it's going to look pastel-y, right? A lot of people think if you want a lighter red, you add white to it. Well, that's not true, because you'll end up with pink. If you want a lighter red, either add a little yellow, or in this case, I'm adding a little orange. So, now you know.
And knowing is half the battle.
So, for this coat, I'm going to get a little paint on the brush, just like before, right? But instead of just dabbing it straight off, I'm going to go into this orange and just mix the two colors right here on the palette, right? It'll make a little bit lighter shade of red, a little bit orangey, right? And we'll go back in, coat number 2. And again, no particular order or placement. I'm just dabbing this stuff wherever the brush hits is where it's going, right? All right, everybody, here we go. Here's all the accessories that we've painted up and metalized, and yeah, here's the bazooka. That was kind of the focus of the video. I did do some detail painting off camera, just, you know, little silver bits and some black bits here and there, just to kind of break up the green. But yeah, that's the bazooka all done up. Pretty happy with how that turned out. We also looked at the pauldron. That's how that came out. Pretty sharp, I think. The things I didn't show were the heat hawk, right? That was done up basically primer gray. I didn't even paint the handle. Added in some little black bits, the silver for the hose and the end, and then the blade got a coat of dark iron, and then just a little dry brushing, right, to make the blade look worn. And the machine gun, that was done exactly like the bazooka. Everything got a gunmetal base coat, and then I just hand painted the greens on this one. I didn't want to tape it and spray it like the other, so I just hand painted that. Hand painted some black, right? But pretty much done just like the bazooka was. And then the backpack, same kind of thing, just a coat of gray or a coat of green, and then I did the little greebly we put on there. I painted that black and then just did some silver to highlight it. So yep, that's all that. Here's all the metallized parts from the beginning of the video. Um, the couple of things I did off camera, in addition to the details, right? The brush painting details. Everything here got a coat of gloss varnish, and that's just to get ready for decals and weathering and all the other stuff, right? Just to protect what we've done so far. So those are the only two things that happened off camera: detail painting, gloss coat, and then nothing happened to these, right? These are just like I left them in the video. You can't, like I told you, you can't really gloss these without losing that kind of metal shine, right? So yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode. Now we have all of our accessories ready to go. On the next episode, I think we'll get back into the kit. We'll snap up some of the pieces, maybe do some weathering, start some decal work, stuff like that. So yeah, stay tuned for episode 6. Until then, thanks for hanging out.